Good evening. How are you? My name is Tyson Domer. I live in Mapleton Fall Creek, and originally, I think Joe or somebody from KIB had asked Sarah to speak, and any of you that knows Sarah know she's better looking, she's more intelligent, she's the brains behind a lot of these projects in Mapleton Fall Creek, but she is in LA with our young son Henry at a conference, so I'm here instead. Buyer beware. Sorry about that. I'd like to talk a little bit about like getting to know your neighbors. I think that's very important. I think a lot of people don't get to know their neighbors. That's how Sarah and I met through a neighbor. We met in Seattle, Washington. We've lived here for 7 years. We moved here from Seattle, but we met through a neighbor. And we moved to a transitional area in Mapleton Fall Creek, and we didn't intend to stay there when we moved in. It was kind of going to be a transitional place. We had bought another place. We were going to work on it. We needed a place to stay. The house we had bought wasn't habitable. We're like, all right, you know. So, but we ended up staying there. We did get to know a lot of our neighbors. I'm going to tell a couple of stories about neighbors. The first one I'll share happened a couple weeks ago. We had the snowstorm. We got about 8 or 9 inches of snow. I've got some really good neighbors. My friend Billy, he grew up in the neighborhood. Another friend of mine, Kenny G, also grew up in the neighborhood. They kind of live in the neighborhood now. They live here and there and everywhere. They do odd jobs. It had snowed. I was out shoveling snow. And I saw Billy walking down the street. I'm like, Billy, where's your snow shovel? Knowing he was going to be out shoveling snow. He's like, hey, I left it at my cousin's house. I was like, oh, hey, there's a shovel that's been sitting behind a trash can at this other house down the street since, last summer. Go ahead and use that, because you can use my shovel when I'm done, but I'm kind of in the middle of shoveling. He's like, okay, he grabs his shovel. Kenny G shows up. They're both shoveling. I'm shoveling. I finish shoveling. I go in the house. I come out of my house an hour later. My snow shovel's gone. I left it on the front porch. It's gone. It's gone. I'm like, oh man, I'm upset. I want to get my I want my shovel. It's a nice shovel. It's an older shovel. I know the shovel. It's got a nice little bent ergo handle. I got a bad back. It's missing the little blade, but it's a good shovel. I'm driving around. I see Kenny G and Billy, and they're shoveling snow. They don't have the shovel that I lent to Billy earlier. They have better shovels. I don't know what happened to the shovel that was sitting behind my other garbage can. They traded up as well. I don't ask. Hey, somebody stole my shovel off my porch. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah. So basically, it's kind of still snowing. I'm like, Kenny, can I borrow that shovel back? Or Billy, can I borrow that shovel back that I directed you to earlier? He's like, oh, that's Kenny's shovel. Kenny, can I borrow that shovel back? Oh man, I left that shovel on another porch. I'm gonna, yeah. Hey, can you bring it over? I might need a shovel later. Yeah, whatever. Billy, let slip. Oh man, I thought you knew that guy. What guy? Oh, that guy, hey, that guy came up on your porch. He took the shovel. I thought you knew him. I thought you said it's okay to take the shovel. I'm like, what do you look like? He's like, I don't know. He's panicked, he doesn't know. He doesn't want to rat this guy out. So he's like, oh, it's that real light-skinned guy with the glasses. I don't know who that is. You mean Jimmy, the little, stubby, dude that lives behind the alley? No, different guy. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm upset. I want my shovel back. I know I'm gonna need a shovel. So I end up going up to the car. I drive up to the coffee shop. I see this dude walking with a shovel. Looks like my shovel. I see him down the street. I'm like, no way. Circle around. He's walking up to the gas station. He just kind of takes my shovel and just kind of sets it like this. He's walking to the gas station. I'm like, hey, that's my shovel. He's like, that's my shovel. I'm like, where did you get it? At the store. You got it at 34th and Broadway. You can have the shovel, man. I know I can have it because it's mine. He just looks at me. I'm like, Can I take that shovel? I just put it in the back of my car. He doesn't care. I recognize this is my shovel. It's missing the little, it's green, bent handle, it's missing the little blade. Clearly my shovel. But it's important to know your neighbors. If I had not taken the time to get to know Kenny G and Billy, I wouldn't have gotten that little tidbit of information that led me. Because this guy fit the description. I mean, light-skinned guy, Coke bottle glasses, carrying my shovel. That worked out. That worked out for me. But we've gotten. Sarah doesn't know that story. We've gotten to know our neighbors in other ways. So KIB has been a great partner for us in Mapleton Fall Creek. Sarah really made the connection with KIB. We moved here 7 years ago. She had said, "Hey, I'm going to get involved with this group KIB. They're planting daffodils along the highway." I'm like, "Is that going to be worth your time?" I had no idea. I had no idea what KIB did or didn't do. But over the years, we're adoptive block coordinators. We've gotten a couple of assists from KIB in terms of Project Green Space support for Community Garden, which we developed on a vacant lot, and Rain Garden, which Joe mentioned, which we're finishing on April 20th. That's been a really incredible project. Again, Sarah Weehee, brains behind this operation. I move dirt, I dig holes, I sometimes write things, but mostly Sarah's the idea woman. But the community garden has been great because that's where we do an annual event called like Halloween in the Hood. We make chili over a fire pit, and we just invite the whole neighborhood. We get a lot of people that come out. It's a great community building event. I mean, you get kids early, you get kind of like drunks later, but it works out. It's a lot of fun, and I do this because that wasn't my idea. That wasn't Sarah's idea. That was my friend Avis's idea. I met Avis in the neighborhood. I told you the snow shovel story. So the way I met Avis is somebody had driven by one evening. We were sitting by the fire pit in our yard. Hear smashing glass, right? Car goes tearing down the alley behind our house. I'm just fed up at this point. It's been a hard day, mowed a bunch of grass, whatever. I'm sitting by the fire pit. It's very serene. Smash! Run down the alley. I'm like, hey! Avis has come up, and he said, hey, where's Tyson? Sarah's like, he went down the alley with a 2x4. Oh, I'm going to go get him. All right. So that's kind of how Avis and I sealed the deal of our friendship. But we sat down and we had a good conversation that night. And he's like, "Hey, we should have a cookout. We should have a barbecue or something here." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, we could do that." Like, well, let's have we came up with the idea. Let's have chili on Halloween. So we do chili on Halloween. We've done chili since 2008. He makes a giant vat of chili. It's great. We now do that in the community garden. We built another fire pit over there, a little kind of cook stove kind of thing. And we've met a lot of people, and we met you guys over there, I think. And it's just a great way to bring people together, and we have a pretty robust little network in our neighborhood. We get a good turnout for work days when we're doing like plantings in the rain garden. And I saw you with the other night, last night, it was last night, and he said, "Hey man, it was quiet. I was out by the fire pit. Sarah wasn't home. Henry wasn't home. Or Henry was in bed. I actually had whatever." And he's like, "Hey man, it's quiet. It's quiet here. This is how the neighborhood used to be like when I grew up. There wasn't all this activity, this chaos." And I'm like, "Well, why do you think that is?" He's like, people. It's quiet. It's like people know. It's like it's like people are getting to know each other again. It's like it's becoming more like the old neighborhood. So it keeps kind of the disruptive element away. So I thought that was great. And I've really enjoyed getting to know my neighbors. It's always I think it's good policy. So that's it.